Now, they were once a familiar sight at the annual Braemar Gathering. The Duff Highlanders were one of three local groups of local estate workers who traditionally opened the famous games with a march past. Now, after an absence of almost 90 years, the Duff clansmen have reformed, proudly providing a guard of honour for the King. Anne Smith has more.
After an absence of almost 90 years, the Duff Highlanders proudly march again.
It's very emotional, very emotional.
They used to be a common sight at the Braemar Gathering. Originally, this group of local estate workers, together with others from neighbouring estates, marched in front of the reigning monarch. A colourful spectacle in what was known as the March of the Clansmen. But the Duff Highlanders disbanded in the 1930s and have since been absent from the annual games. Until last weekend, when they performed a memorable Guard of Honour for the current king.
So I was born and brought up in the village in the 50s and 60s and heard the stories of the pre-war Duff Highlanders marching, then they're called Highlanders and the Balmoral Highlanders. And it's just always been wonderful to think that this day would arrive.
None of us had ever marched before, none of us have a military background, well very few of us have, and we've been doing drill practice for the last 6 or 7 weeks to get up to a reasonable standard, and we think we've done pretty well, so we're very pleased with ourselves.
The once famous Highlanders have been brought back thanks to the support of the local community.
One of the things we're trying to do is to try and bring back some of the old traditions, because 100 years ago the Duff Highlanders, the Balmoral Highlanders and the Invercold Highlanders all marched to the Braemar Gathering. It would have been a wonderful sight, and all that's been lost. So hopefully we'll bring it back again and add a bit of colour and a bit of spectacle.
The Duff Highlanders are a ceremonial group originally associated with the earldom of Mar, dating back to the early 19th century.
We think the earliest reference is in 1822, when they were part of the group that came to meet King George IV when he came to Edinburgh. And there's information in some of the newspapers about them being there.
The historic reforming is a proud moment for Braemar. The Duff Highlanders say they'll march in the footsteps of their ancestors once again next year, and hopefully with all of their neighbouring clansmen.
We've got the Duff Highlanders and we've got the Invercold, whom we're hoping will come and march again next year too. And maybe, hopefully at some point, the Balmoral might be formed again and we could get back to having the three groups marching, which is so special for the games and so special for the area.
Anne Smith, STV News.